What is going on, guys? Rewinds here, and in this video I'm going to be bringing you guys the full spoilers for Boruto 2 Blue Vortex manga chapter number 25. And to kick things off, I want to say shout out to Nakimov over here for posting all of the pages from the chapter. So in this video I'm going to cover every single page that this chapter has. And then also shout out to Kaz, who's going to be doing all the translations that I'm going to be posting in this video as well. So I do want to say first things first. I know it's been a while since I posted. This might be the first time in a long time, I think. I haven't posted in near a month. But the chapter's around the corner now. So everything should be returning back to normal with the channel going forward. I will talk about last month's chapter as well. I know I didn't really get to drop a review on that last month, so I'll probably just combine it with this month's chapter review. So, going forward to the actual spoilers here for this month. First things first, the cover of chapter 25 is actually a Himawari cover with Kurama, and if you look at the cover, you can see that Himawari has a Kurama shirt as well, which I think is a pretty cool addition over here to her design. And we got mini Kurama pretty much in the back with her. So really cool stuff. I like that cover. Again, Ikimoto, at least to me, most of the time does not miss with covers. So this is a really good cover in my opinion for this chapter. And definitely curious to hear what you guys think of it as well. So let me know in the comments below. But let's have a look now at the actual spoilers starting from page 1. I'm going to cut over to that now. Alright, so we're over here now on Kaz's page. I do want to say also that I will be reacting to this as we go as well, because I haven't seen all these spoilers yet. I do know some of the stuff that happens in the chapter, but I don't know all of it. So, excited to see what's up with that. So, page 1 over here, we have Konohamaru, Shikadai, Inojin, Chocho, and Himawari all there at the site where Moegi was turned into a tree, or captured within that tree. And we have Konohamaru standing there with the thorn soul, and he pretty much goes and pokes it into the tree right by Moegi. And the side text says, Konohamaru and the others return with the Matsuri's thorn soul in hand. Will Moegi wake up? So that's pretty much the sneak peek page. I don't know if you guys saw, that's the page that was actually officially released as well the other day. So something some of you might have already seen. So this is page 3. I'm going to switch over here. This is page 2 right here, where the thorn soul is reacting, it seems like, to the tree. It kind of just goes into it, makes like a little symbol, and then we start seeing some smoke happen right there. And then that's what leads us to page 3, where Moegi kinda just falls out of there and she falls into Konohamaru's arms. And, you know, Himawari is really happy to see her back, as you guys can see. And Konohamaru, of course, is too. You can tell with that look in his eye. And he goes in and embraces her. And Moegi says, Konohamaru-chan? And, you know, pretty cool, touching moment right there. Especially considering how they did the whole Matsuri Konohamaru situation. So really cool stuff there. I like the moment for both those characters, Konohamaru and Moegi, and good for Team 10 and Himawari as well. Page 4. Looks like Konohamaru just hugs Moegi harder, and Moegi says Konohamaru-chan again, and then last page was said with surprise. This time it's said with relief. So that's pretty much how Moegi, I guess, reacted the first time over here, was with some surprise to see him, and then this time was with relief. You can tell she's happy. And then we got Boruto actually flying over, hovering, and actually seeing the scenario. And you see a little smile pop up from him, I think, or at least like a little grin there at the bottom. So you can tell Boruto is happy that that's taken care of. This also proves to us as readers that you just got to get the thorn soul, and then, you know, pretty much do what Konohamaru just did here, and you'd be able to hopefully bring back, you know, whoever was turned into a tree. So that explains that. No other, you know, extra steps to it. That's something cool to see. Page 5. Now this is where we start getting more dialogue, it looks like. So we have Kankuro communicating over here with Shikamaru, and we see Gaara in a hospital bed right there, probably still recovering from what's going on. Shikamaru has Sai by him as well. So pretty much what's going on is Kankuro saying, yeah, Shinki's back to normal on our end too. Gaara's safe too. He's badly hurt, but it's not life-threatening. Because of the sealing jutsu, he still hasn't regained consciousness. He should wake up soon. Shikamaru says, I see. That's what matters most. Sai says, Shikamaru, the feudal lord is calling for you. Shikamaru says, yeah, I'll be there right away. Page 6. We have a little scene right here. Everybody's kind of just surrounding a hospital bed, including now we have Sarada. Everybody else was there. Sakura's actually here too, because it says right here, Sakura is saying, there's no sign of any damage to her bones or muscles. Her internal organs look normal too, but her chakra flow is blocked. I think it's because that tree was draining her energy. So, little appearance again from Sakura. I know we haven't been seeing a lot of her in Boruto in general, so it is cool to see her make appearances every so often. And I feel like something we need that they haven't really given us is I want to see a Sakura and Sarada reaction, or not reaction, an interaction, just, you know, kind of discussing Sasuke a little bit. I feel like that could be pretty cool for the readers to see, and hopefully we do get that at some point. Doesn't seem like we will this chapter, but yeah. Page 7. Sakura's talking, Moegi's talking, Konohamaru's sitting there happy. Sakura says, as for the symptoms, well, it's basically mild malnutrition. What matters now is eating properly and getting rest. Sumire says, thank goodness. Himawari says, Moegi-sensei. And Moegi says, I'm sorry, everyone, for making you worry. Thank you, Konohamaru. So, you know, touching little moment there for everybody. Page 8, that continues on. Konohamaru says something, then Sarada says something to Sumire. Konohamaru pretty much is just replying to Moegi saying, yeah, hurry up and get better, alright? And Sarada saying, hey, can we talk for a sec? So this is going to address that tension, I think, between Sumire and Sarada that we've had going on. So we'll see where that leads to. Page 9, we pretty much have them step outside. This is like a very, you know, familiar spot, it looks like, from where they've talked to in the past. And Sumire just says, yeah. And then that's when they had stepped out. Page 10, get a little view of them talking. Sumire first starts out by saying, good work out there. That mission was pretty rough, huh? Sarada says, yeah, more or less. So this is like that awkward, you know, small talk going on before they address this main thing. Page 11, Sumire says, and then before she can continue, Sarada says, Sumire. And then page 12, more dialogue. Sarada says, you know, is it okay if I call you that? Maybe? And this Sumire flashback comes up then where she's saying, how long are you planning to keep being class rep? Or, and then Sumire says, yeah. So, little, I guess, name change right there. No more being called the class rep. That name might be in the past now, at least from Sarada. Page 13. We got Ada watching this whole scene right here, and they're talking more. Sarada pretty much apologizes, saying sorry for everything. I was being insensitive. Sumire says, no, I should be the one apologizing. Saying something like that out of nowhere, it was really blunt of me. Sarada says, back then, I was just completely caught off guard. I didn't even know how to respond. So, that addresses the elephant in the room for them. We continue the convo here at page 14. Sarada says, anyway, what you said was just completely spot on. And even how you felt, and my own shortcomings too. I keep turning away from all of those things. Back then, remember, you asked me, didn't you? And we have a flashback of pre-time skip where Sumire is saying, don't you care, Sarada, about Boruto-kun? And that was pretty much that moment where Sumire was asking. Conversation continues, and Sarada says, what I said back then was how I really felt. At that point in time, anyway. I mean, I never even considered it, like having any special feelings about him or anything. But still, at some point, I started spending more and more time thinking about him, and I realized just how often that had become. So, That's now Sarada looks like she's openly confessing her feelings here. Why did we jump from 15 to 21? Let me see. Okay, maybe we don't have as much dialogue. Let me check. That's weird that it's like that. Let me see if I'm missing any. Here's page 16. I don't know why it was messed up with how it was translated. Sarada says, "You know him. He's always carrying some kind of problem. Probably going through a lot, right? As a teammate in the same squad, I couldn't help but worry about him. Eventually, maybe even I myself, am I just worried about him as a teammate, or is it something more?" So yeah, this is definitely Sarada's moment to come around openly to Sumire. Page 17. Sarada says, "And also, the fact that I'm even thinking about stuff like that somehow makes me feel like a failure of a person. Someone like me. To even consider becoming Hokage, I wonder if I'm even worthy of aiming for it." Yodo, pretty much we have her saying, "You've got it all wrong. Maybe without even realizing it, you're lying to yourself." And that's like pretty much our flashback moment there. Page 18 is Sumire saying, "Sarada." Sarada says, "But you know, I've already stopped doing that kind of thing." And then this was the page I had seen earlier. Page 19, just straight up Sarada saying, "I like Boruto too." And that's like the big moment of the chapter regarding Sarada. So big stuff there. So far we're halfway through the chapter. We got Moegi back. Team 10's happy. Himawari's happy. Konohamaru's definitely happy. And we got Sakura cameo. And then now we're getting Sumire and Sarada pretty much getting on better terms again. Page 20. Let's see if... Let me get back to that, because I know we missed a few. So page 20 is just a reaction page, it looks like, from Ada, really, for the most part, and Sumire's reaction as well to the whole thing, and that's pretty much all it is. Page 21, Sarada says, "The feeling that I want to be someone who supports him, that feeling itself makes me stronger. Even the Hokage, I feel like I could become one too. That's how I've come to feel." So Sarada's confidence in herself has definitely skyrocketed, especially with the whole Yodo thing. Makes that sacrifice a little bit more worth it. That's another thing I'm worrying about, though. I know they said that, yeah, Yodo may have passed, but did that happen for sure? For sure, I kind of want to see a little bit more of the Sans perspective on it, because really all we've gotten to see right now is that Kankuro and Shikamaru interaction. We haven't even really seen anything from Araya at all, for example. I feel like that could be cool there. And I also feel like if Shinki was indeed, brought back like they're saying and everything, what was Shinki's reaction to Yodo's death? I feel like that's kind of important stuff to see as well. I mean, we know Araya knows what happened there, but Shinki is close friends with Araya and Yodo, so how did Shinki react to all of this? Has Shinki even technically awoken, or is he knocked out, completely? Is he in, kind of a bedridden situation like Moegi is? It'd be cool to see that stuff, shown a little bit. That's like probably one thing I'm hoping they do show, but it doesn't seem like we're getting that, at least not right now. So, let's see. Now we're on page 22, where Sumire says, I've known for a long time. How you feel, Sarada? It was completely obvious." Sarada says, "But that goes both ways, right?" And page 23 is Sumire says, "Thanks for being honest with me. Now that it's come to this, I'm not going to hold back anymore, So, I don't know what Sumire is trying to say here. Sumire might be declaring that they might be going at it now to see who can really land Boruto. But at least they both openly know that with each other now. Let's see, page 24. So, page 24 is Sumire saying, "That goes both ways." Ada says, "This isn't a joke. Of all times you went and did this behind my back without asking. Don't go getting all fired up and turning this into a hot topic situation. Hey, Sensory Captain, respond. Get me connected right now." Oh yeah, we know that based off this and just some past interactions, Ada definitely loves her drama, and this is definitely feeling that for sure. Page 25, um, Ada says, "To those girls," and that's the chapter's title apparently, because it says chapter title drop. So seems like that's the title chapter. Big focus, of course. I mean, we have had at least, it seems like, 10 to 15 pages, focusing on resolving this. So cool stuff there, I guess. I knew it was something to be addressed eventually, so glad it is. Page 26. This is exciting. Himawari is basically in a meditation stance, and she's actually out here training, and all you see right there is so like a noise for focusing. She's in her house, which again, it's cool to see. You get to see the shirt she has too of Kurama. Cool stuff there. And page 27, pretty much we have her fighting with Kurama, basically sparring. And we continue that over to page 28, where Himawari was knocked down. Kurama says, "You're wrong about that. You don't understand a damn thing. It's not just about throwing punches with brute strength. Don't try to leap using just leg power. It's chakra. It all comes down to chakra control at the baseline, more than just mastering the fundamentals." So, seems like Himawari is being trained up nice here by Kurama, which is cool to see. That continues into page 29, where Kurama says, "This isn't about whether you're stylish or not. The point is strictly about the multiple stances you should be taking. This is just the beginning of your instruction. Throw away common sense. Think of yourself as a literal incarnation of chakra. Everything starts from that." Himawari says, "Even if you say stuff like that, none of it is sinking into my head." Kurama says, "I'm tired. That's enough for today." Himawari says, wait a nine tails. So, looks like Kurama just called it a day. We see him going to sleep right there. But it is cool that he's taking it out of his way to go and mentor her. Honestly, really cool stuff. I can't wait to see what kind of potential Himawari is going to have in action, going forward in these next couple arcs that we're going to get or whatever. So it should be really cool to see how she levels up in that regard. Again, it's going to be awesome one day where hopefully we get, some Naruto and Kurama interactions again. I really don't know down the line if whenever Naruto gets unsealed, if somehow Naruto is going to get some sort of power up, or if Kurama's going to, help him out in some way. I don't know. There's a lot of like random theories going around of like Naruto possibly getting a power up whenever he is released. To that, I have no idea what's really going to happen. They could go so many ways about it, but for now, especially, let's enjoy this development that Himawari is getting. It's fitting that, Naruto's child is the person to pretty much get Kurama next right now, so I'm happy with that choice. And glad to see that she's actually training. Himawari says, "We're not even done talking yet. Ugh, seriously? Kurama, come on." So page 31, or page 33, okay, maybe I have a few more to see. But as you could see from that, it's crazy. Page 31, Boruto sitting on a rooftop. He's just closing his eyes, thinking in his head. Page 32, we see him like in this stony area, probably in his mind. And right there we see him look around. This leads us to page 33, where Momoshiki is back. For the first time ever in Boruto 2 Blue Vortex, we see Momoshiki. Momoshiki says, "What does the wind blow in today?" And that's like a figurative type of language to basically say, "What brings you here?" And Momoshiki says, "To think you'd be the one to make contact." Page 34, lot of dialogue between the two. Boruto says, "Yo, freeloader, still sulking as usual, huh?" Momoshiki says, "Once again, you managed to escape death, because you're still shamelessly clinging to life. As you can see, I am in the depths of despair. The moment you were killed by Kawaki, I should have left you for dead." Momoshiki says, "Reincarnation also became impossible. The only thing my lost soul now desires is to break free from this curse through your death, is to simply disappear." Damn, that's some real hate right there from Momoshiki. It seems like he's regretting that decision to even bring him back. And he's also saying, reincarnation's impossible, so I'd rather just die along with you. That's how bored Momoshiki is, and how disgusted I guess he is of being in Boruto. Page 35, Boruto says, "I've got a bit of a proposal for someone like you. Let's just say this once. Will you lend me your strength? Momoshiki says, don't make me laugh. Disappear. Boruto says, just hear me out. Of course, I'm not asking for free. We know how Boruto is. Boruto's become a much better negotiator. But then again, Momoshiki's probably been watching everything Boruto's been doing, so I don't know if manipulation on that level is going to work on him. Page 36. Boruto says, if you manage to take down Jura, then this body of mine, I'll give it all to you. That's crazy. And I mean, that's the ultimate sacrifice right there, too. Boruto willing to give his body up to Momoshiki if Jura's taken down. Because, I mean, let's be real. The chances against Jura are pretty slim to none. At least with how stuff's been going lately. So, Boruto's just resorting to desperate measures. Will he keep his word with Momoshiki there? I don't know. But, definitely a big proposal to make. Page 37, which seems to be the end over here, according to this. Sumire says, but you know, Boruto himself, he probably hasn't noticed, right? Our feelings or anything like that. Sarada says, more like there's no way he's noticed. Absolutely not. Well, that's just the way he is. But that's kind of nice, too. Side text. Driven by his mission, he stepped onto a path of carnage. What is Momoshiki's answer to that proposal? So, chapter ended off on that note with them saying, hey, Boruto hasn't noticed our feelings yet. But, you know, that's just kind of how he is. And also leads us to believe how Momoshiki will respond to that proposal. We also have another page here, I guess, that was just kind of misplaced. Where I guess Himawari and Kurama were talking. So I guess I'll throw that in now. Himawari says, of course, I understand that much. I'm a ninja too, you know. Kurama says, no, you don't understand anything at all, but at the very least, you're no ordinary shinobi. You're a rare case who holds a tail beast inside. No, something more. Though you are human, if I had to say, you're closer to beings like me. Beast. Pretty cool page. And this is another one where Konohamaru is basically saying, Moegi, hey, do you recognize me? And Chocho says, Miss Moegi. But I guess it really translates to Moegi-sensei. But that's when Konohamaru caught her. That was just another mispaged. And I think that's pretty much all of it. So at the end of the day, that's pretty much it for the full spoilers. Hopefully you guys did enjoy this video, and hopefully you guys did enjoy the chapter. I have definitely been a big fan of Two Blue Vortex, focusing on different ends of different, you know, characters more often than Naruto Next Generations did, I feel like, when it comes to, you know, going chapter by chapter. So that's something I really like that they've been doing in Boruto 2 Blue Vortex, and I feel like we've continued that on in this chapter too, where, you know, you have like this whole focus on the whole Sarada and Sumire thing, and you got that resolved, but at the same time you had the whole Moegi coming back thing resolved. You had some touching moments there with Team 10 and Konohamaru with her, and then you have Boruto having his moments as well, talking to Momoshiki and making a crazy proposal. So all in all, it's a very well-rounded chapter. I'm excited to read the official version and make my review. And I hope you guys are looking forward to that too. But definitely for now, let me know what you guys thought of everything in the comments below. And if you guys did enjoy the video, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel if you guys are new. And as always, I hope you guys do have a good day or a good night whenever you guys are watching this video. I'm Rewinds, and I'm out.